शाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते महाविष्णु गोस्वामिनिति नामिने नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे नारायण नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्. Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Narayan, and unto Nar Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadev, the author. Nashta prayashava bhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhakti neshtaki. By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जय श्री गुरुदेव की जय, जगत गुरु श्री प्रपाद की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Tagore Premanande. Hare Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Gauranga ki jay. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees. First of all, I want to give very much. I'm very much grateful to His Grace Amrish Prabhu, Her Grace Purna Pragya Devi Dasi Mataji, and His Grace Krishna Smarpan Krishna Das Prabhu to giving me the chance and training me and spending a lot of time on me to encouraging me and guiding me so I can share my realizations and and speak on these verses. So I'm very, very thankful to them. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Thank you. So, so today we're going to start the new text number 7 from Nectar of Instructions. And this text actually is very important. And this one, it talks about the very heart of the bhakti, which is chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So please pay attention to this text, and so we'll start. So intermediate devotees, I think Mahesh Prabhuji is here, Soumya Mataji is here, and Parth Prabhuji is here also. So I will recite the verse. It's the same meter that the previous text. So and once I will recite once, and then we will recite one by one. So we'll we'll do that way. So I'll start. Shat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapi Vidya Pitto Patapat Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintav Adarad Anudinam Khalu Seva Jushta Swadavi Karma Kramad Bhavati Tadgada Mool Hantari. I recite once more. Syat Krishna Nama Charitadisitapi Vidya Pitto Patapatarasanasya Narochikanu Kintav Adarad Anudinam Khalu Seva Jushta Swadavi Kramad Bhavati Tadgadamul Hantari. So now I'll ask Mahesh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Syata Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapi Avidya Pitto Patapta Rasanasya Na Rochika No Kinto Adarada Anudinam Kalu Seva Justa Swadvi Kramada Bhavati Tadagada Mulahantari.
Yes, Prabhuji. Very good. Soumya Mataji.
स्यात् कृष्णनाम चरितादिसितापि अविद्या पित्तोपतप्तरसनस्य नरोचिकानु किन्तवादरादनुदिनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वादविक्रमाद्भवति तद्गदामूलहन्त्री.
Very nice. Very nice. Parth Prabhu. Yeah, Parth Prabhu is there.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes, I'm there. I'm just.
Yes, sir.
I'll just recite. Just a second.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sorry, yeah, I'm on a different system because.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm just managing stuff. Just a second.
Right. You got the book, Prabhuji, or are you?
No. I don't have the book. I'm not. Yeah. So.
Okay.
Okay. So, Prabhu, I don't have the. Can you share the screen, maybe?
Okay. What I'll do, I didn't set it up for sharing the screen, but what we'll do, I'll recite once more.
Okay, Prabhu.
Maybe hold on. I can open quickly.
You can share the screen now, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. I'm just opening up. Right? Yeah. Okay, text 7. Share screen. Okay, Prabhu. Can you see that now, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Yes, Prabhu. Want me to recite once more so you know the meter again?
Is it the Brahma Samhita meter?
It's the same meter that previous verse.
Previous verse?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give it a go, Prabhu. If I'm wrong, then you can just let me know. And yeah.
Yes, sir.
Sat Krishna Nama Charita Disita Pivid Avidya Pito Patapa Rasanasya Narochikanu Kintavyadharad Anudinam Khalu Saiva Jushta Swadvikramada Bhavati Tad Gadamulahantri.
Yes. Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. Yeah. So I'll recite once more. स्यात् कृष्ण नाम चरितादि सितापि विद्या पित्तोपतापतरसनस्य नरोचिकानु किन्तव आदराद् अनुदीनं खलु सैव जुष्टा स्वादविक्रमाद् भवति तद्गदमूलहन्तरी. Yes, Prabhu. So, who can read today? Mahesh
I'll read,
Prabhu, can
Prabhu.
you read? Yes, Prabhu. Thank you.
Should I start with translation, Prabhu?
No, first we'll read the word-to-word synonyms. Word-to-word synonyms,
Okay.
translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Ki jai. Take 7. Word-to-word translation. Syat is Krishna of Lord Krishna. Nama, the holy name. Charitadi, character, pastimes, and so forth. Sita, sugar candy. Api, although. Avidya, of ignorance. Pitta, by the bile. Upattapata, afflicted. Rasanasya, of the tongue. Na, not. Rochika, palatable. No, oh, how wonderful it is. Kintu, but. Adarat, carefully. Anudinam, every day or 24 hours daily. Khalu, naturally. Sa, that sugar candy of the holy name. Ev, certainly. Zusta, taken or chanted. Swadvi, relishable. Kramat, gradually. Bhavati, becomes. Tatagada, of that disease. Mula, of the root. Hantari, the destroyer. Shloka
Yes.
Prabhupada ki jai. Translation.
Uh,
The holy name.
before Hare Krishna Prabhu, before we go to translation, we'll stay with the word-to-word synonyms. And it says, once you read this, then we'll read it again like this: that is of Lord Krishna, the holy name,
Yeah.
character,
Okay.
pastimes, and so forth, sugar candy, although of ignorance, by the bile, afflicted of the tongue, not palatable. Oh, how wonderful it is! But carefully, every day or 24 hours daily. Naturally, that sugar candy of the holy name, certainly taken or chanted, relishable, gradually becomes of the disease of the root, the destroyer. So we stays with this word-to-word synonyms, and before we recited the verse, so we can actually derive the meaning what this verse is talking about. So if we go to like the first line, that Shyat Krishna Nam Charitadi Sitapi. Means these Krishna's name, Nam Charitadi, Krishna's name, character, pastime, qualities, activities, all these are sweet. Sita. Sita is sweet, sugar, like a sugar candy. Then Avidya Pitto Patapat Rasanasya Narochikanu. Means the avidya, means the nescience, ignorance. Pitta is the bile. Pitta, when we also have in our body the pitta, sometimes we have in Ayurveda, if you have a lot of pitta, then it's a disease. The balance it goes disbalance. So the tongue gets afflicted by this pitta, uppatapata, afflicted by bile of ignorance. And na rochikanu, means then there is no ruchi. When you in Hindi also we have this word ruchi. So we don't have ruchi, rochikanu. Na rochikanu, no taste in these names of Krishna, which is sweet like sugar candy. And then, but kintu adarad anudinam khalu seva jushta. So kintu, but that adarad means we have this word adar, very great respect. Adar, we give adar to our seniors. So adar. So with adar, anudinam means every day, means great, regular, with great consistency. Khalu seva jushta. naturally these names chanted or taking Jushta. So when but Adarad Anudinam Khalu Seva Jushta. But with great respect and every day we chant these names or we engage in this process. Swadavi Kramad Bhavati. Swadavi means the taste. Swad, swad. We know this word. Swadavi Kramad. Kramad means kram, step by step, gradually. Bhavati happens. What happens? Tad Gada Mool Hantari. That disease, Tad Gada, Mool means something's base, Mool. Hantari, destroyed. So that disease get destroyed at the root if we follow this process. So from this word to word synonyms, we can derive this meaning. And when we read this way, this is how we got trained up. And if we read this way, then you will understand the verse pattern. You remember the verse and it's very easy then after that, once you understood the meanings and when it's very easy to read, So this is the word to word synonyms. Now we go to the translation now. Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes,
Should I
Hare
start
Krishna.
with the word to word synonym? So,
No, the translation. Now we go to the
Translation.
translation because we've done the word to word synonyms. Now we derive the meanings and now we read the translation by Srila Prabhupada.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Translation. The holy name, character, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are all transcendently sweet like a sweet sugar candy. Although the tongue of one afflicted by the jaundice of avidya, ignorance, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root.
So with the translation, it's very much clear now that these names, the holy names of the Lord and his pastimes, character, activities, all that is transcendently sweet like sugar candy. But although our tongue is afflicted by jaundice or this avidya, and we cannot taste these sweet holy names.
Sorry, Prabhuji, excuse me. When you are giving explanation, just remove the shared screen, so people can see your face. Otherwise, it becomes very boring for the future generation to read, and listen.
Yes, Prabhu.
So when you are reading, you can show it. And not reading, you can.
Yes, Prabhu. I'm just looking where I can.
Stop share. It will say. So stop share down.
Stop share. Oh yeah, it's on the top. Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yes, so here in the translation, we studied the translation now. So in the translation, it's clear now that these names, pastimes, and activities of Krishna are transcendently sweet like sugar candy. And although the tongue of one afflicted by this jaundice, avidya, cannot taste anything sweet, it is wonderful that simply by carefully chanting these sweet names every day, a natural relish awakens within his tongue, and his disease is gradually destroyed at the root. So it means the remedy also given in this, what the disease we have, and the remedy is the same, like in jaundice. The sweet things taste bitter, but the sweet is also the remedy, So that's how we can understand. And Srila Prabhupada given very good purport on this. So we'll start reading the purport, and when para by para, we will pick up the points and discuss on those points, right? So I will share the screen again and we'll study. Yes, Prabhu. Can you see that, Maresh Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. So we'll purport. Yeah.
The holy name of Lord Krishna, his quality, pastimes, and so forth are all the nature of absolute truth, beauty, and bliss. Naturally, they are very sweet, like a sugar candy, which appeals to everyone. Nescience however, is compared to the disease called jaundice, which is caused by bilious secretions. Attacked by jaundice, the tongue of diseased person cannot palatably relish sugar candy. Rather, a person with jaundice considers something sweet to taste very bitter, avidya, ignorance. Similarly, perverse the ability to relish the transcendently palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of Krishna. Despite this disease, if one with great care and attention takes to Krishna consciousness, chanting the holy name, and hearing Krishna's transcendental pastimes, his ignorance will be destroyed and his tongue enabled to taste the sweetness of transcendental nature of Krishna and his paraphernalia. Such a recovery of spiritual health is possible only by regular cultivation of Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Prabhuji.
When a
So,
man in
we'll stop here, probably. Hold on.
Yeah.
So, yes. So here, Srila Prabhupada described about avidya and the process. So the points here is what is the essential practice of devotion service, and that is what this verse about as well. So we know the 9 processes of bhakti, the Navada Bhakti, and this is described in Srimad Bhāgavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 5, verse 23 and 24. I will recite that. Shri Prahladu Vacha Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Vandanam Dashyam Sathyam Atmanivedanam Iti Pumsar Pita Vishnu Bhaktischena Navalakshana Kriyeta Bhagavati Adha Tanmanne Adhitam Uttamam. Translation. Prahlad Maharaj said, hearing and chanting about transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering the Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him, in other words, serving him with body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. So, actually, it's very nicely described these 9 processes of bhakti here. But out of these 9 processes, the first 3, hearing, chanting, and remembering of the Lord, are still, they are very prominent. And out of these, still, the chanting is very essential part of our devotion service. When we chant the transcendental vibration, it enters our ear to our heart and then purify our heart. It says in Shikshashtakam also, Cheto Darpana Marjanam, which is it cleanses all the dust accumulated from our heart. And chanting of the holy name is the Yuga Dharma also. Every Yuga have a Dharma. So this Kali Yuga have a chanting of this name, or Sankirtana Yagna, is the Yuga Dharma. So actually this is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita, that when Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about bhakti, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 6, verse 241 and 242, says that Bhakti sadhana shrestha sunite haila mana Prabhu upadesa kaila nama sankirtan. Means, then the Bhattacharya asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which item is the most important in the execution of devotion service? The Lord replied that most important item was the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And then, Hare Nam eva kevalam, khalau nasteva gatir anyatha. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. So this chanting of the holy name is the most essential part of devotion service. Now, there are different ways and types of chanting. Like when we chant Lord's name and form, and we chant holy name like Mahamantra, and we sing the Lord's Shivigraha in temples and photos, And the second, when we chanting, or the second chanting is when we singing the songs, the Vaishnava songs, the qualities of the Lord in these songs. And the third is when we study Srimad Bhagavatam or Srimad Bhagavad Gita and all the revealed scriptures. So that studying is also chanting. But chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this chanting is the first step, By this chanting of the holy name, our heart gets purified. So what is this covering? What is this contamination that is our heart is covered, And this is avidya that Srila Prabhupada also mentioned here, the ignorance, So the avidya is described as a disease called this jaundice, when sweet things taste bitter. So Srila Prabhupada said that avidya perverts the ability to relish the transcendently palatable name, quality, form, and pastimes of the Lord. It means when we are in avidya, actually this whole the modern civilization is a culture of nescience. It is mentioned in Ishopanishad. We will study further, but it's mentioned there that this culture of nescience. What happened when we follow culture of nescience? So this avidya, this culture of nescience, is perverting our taste. It's giving us this disease. So this is the avidya that's causing this problem. So now we'll read the second paragraph. The further. Hold on. I'll share the screen again. Right. Yes, Prabhu.
When a man in the material world takes more interest in materialistic way of life than in Krishna consciousness, he is considered to be in a diseased condition. The normal condition is to remain in eternal servant of the Lord. Jivera Swarupa Haya, Krishnera Nitya Dasa. This healthy condition is lost when the living entity forgets Krishna due to being attracted by external features of Krishna's Maya energy. This world of Maya is called Durashraya, which means false or bad shelter. One who puts his faith in Durashraya becomes a candidate for hoping against hope. In the material world, everyone is trying to become happy, and although their material attempts are baffled in every way due to their nescience, they cannot understand their mistakes. People try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. This is the way of the struggle for existence in the material world. If one in this condition is advised to take to Krishna consciousness and be happy, he does not accept such instructions.
Yes, Prabhu. So we'll stop here. So in this next paragraph, Srila Prabhupada talks about Durashraya, So when we when we see that time, about this time destroys everything in this world, but this ignorance, this stays with Jiva and cause Jiva to force the cycle of in birth and death again. In this ignorance, in this Jiva takes the shelter of many false things. This is called Durashraya. Ashraya means taking shelter. Dura means bad. So these bad shelters, like people taking shelter of big powerful men or politicians, they're taking shelter of their bodily strength or their intelligence or their position, money, anything, like they all material things, and they don't go to the under the shelter of the Lord, but they take these kind of shelters. And so this is but they don't know that at the time of death it's not going to help. This Durashraya, these false shelters, is not going to help, because at the time of death everything will get destroyed, the material for us. So this is actually mentioned in Bhagavad Gita chapter 10 verse 34, where Krishna says, Mrityuhu sarva haraschaham udbhavascha bhavishyat Bhavishyatam kirtihi shrira vakacha narinam smritir medha drishtihi kshama. Translation: I am all devouring death, and I am the generator of all things yet to be. Among women, I am fame, fortune, speech, memory, intelligence, faithfulness, and patience. So Krishna says here that I am death, and I will take away everything at the end of life. But in avidya, we take durashraya and hoping against hope. But that Srila Prabhupada says is hoping against hope. There is no hope, but we're still hoping that something will save us in material world. And Srila Prabhupada says that people try to rectify one mistake by making another mistake. So this is like Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev also said that you will be definitely be put into more miseries and difficulties if you try to solve your material problems through material ideas. So in avidya, we falsely think that we are in all, and we can solve our problems with material solutions. To avoid death and disease, for example, the modern science develops so many medicines and therapies, but rather than ending the diseases and death, there are more side effects and new viruses and diseases are coming. So the main reason is that we have forgotten our constitutional position, that we are not this body and we are spirit soul. Actually, there is a nice bhajan in Vaishnava song book by Govinda Das Kaviraj. The title is Bhajahu Re Mana Shri Nanda Nandana. In the second paragraph, it is also mentioned that Sita Atapa Bata Barisana Ei Dina Jamini Jagire Bifile Sevino Kripana Durjana Chapala Sukha Laba Lagire. Means both in the day and night I remain sleepless, suffering the pains of the heat and cold, and the wind and the rain. For a fraction of flickering happiness, I have uselessly served wicked and miserly men. Means we are wicked, we uselessly serving in this world some material people, and material things, but we don't come to the under the shelter of Krishna or Krishna consciousness. We don't follow that. And in the second para it says that Ei dhana joguna putra parijana ithe ki ache par titi re kamala dala jala jivana kamala bhajahu haripad niti re. Means what assurance of real happiness is there in all of one's wealth, youthfulness, sons and family members. This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Therefore, you should always serve and worship the divine feet of Lord Hari. So here clearly it is the position of our conditioned soul in this material world. Our life is like Kamala Jala tottering on a lotus feet, like a water totters here and there, So in any moment we can die, You can't guarantee that how long you're going to live, Death is reality. So, and as Krishna says, at the time of death, he comes, he'll take away everything. So whatever material shelter we have in avidya, that's not going to help us. So this is the second point actually here. Srila Prabhupada mentioned in this second para. And another point is that the real position, the constitutional position, this is Jivera Savrupa Haya Nitya Krishna Das, Krishnera Nitya Das. So this is actually in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 20, verse number 108. It says, Jivera Savrupa Haya Krishnera Nitya Das, Krishnera Tatastha Shakti, Bheda Bheda Prakash, Surya Sama Kirana Yaicha Agni Jwala Chaya, Swabhavika Krishnera Teen Prakara Shakti Haya. Means that it is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna, because he is marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one with and different from the Lord, like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire. Krishna has three varieties of energy. So here is clearly mentioned that Jivera Swarup, what's the Swarup of Jiva? He is a Krishnera Nityadas. He is the eternal servant of Krishna. He is a part of those three energies. It's marginal energy. We also um, studied those previously, that also that is three types of energies, the internal potency and the external potency and the marginal. So living entities comes in the marginal category because they in association of material. In avidya in Maya we can go to the Maya side, or if we associate with uh, internal potency or pure devotees of the Lord, then we can go towards Krishna or Krishna consciousness. So this is the part of the real position of constitutional position. When you heard this word constitutional position, so constitutional position is what is our real position. We know this body, we are spirit soul. So let's read the next paragraph also. Hold on.
This should I start to?
Oh, hold on. Yes, I'll share the screen. Yes, Prabhu.
This Krishna consciousness movement is being spread all over the world just to remedy this gross ignorance. People in the general are misled by blind leaders, the leaders of human society, the politicians, philosophers, and scientists are blind because they are not Krishna conscious. According to Bhagavad Gita, because they are bereft of all factual knowledge due to their atheistic way of life, they are actually sinful rascals and are the lowest among men. Na mam duskritino mudda prapadyante naradama mayaya parta jnana asuram bhavam ashrita. Those
It's called
miscreants,
Hare Krishna Babuji. It's a mudha.
mudha,
You see the dot underneath the D, so it's
Yeah.
become da, mudha. And same like it's the dot underneath the R is become ri. Uprita. So
Okay.
yeah, it's a mudha. Okay, yes, Prabhu.
Na mam duskritino mudda
Mudha, mudaha.
mudha prapadyante naradama maya paharita jnana ashuram
Ashura.
bhavam ashrita. Those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of demons, do not surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7, verse 15.
Yes,
Such people never surrender to Krishna and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. When such atheists become leaders of society, the entire atmosphere is surcharged with nescience. In such condition, people do not become very enthusiastic to receive this Krishna consciousness movement, just as a diseased person suffering from jaundice does not relish the taste of sugar candy. However, one must know that for jaundice, sugar candy is the only specific medicine. Similarly, in the present confused state of humanity, Krishna consciousness, the chanting of holy name of the Lord, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, is the only remedy for setting the world all right. Although Krishna consciousness may not be very palatable for a deceased person, Srila Rupa Goswami nonetheless advises that if one wants to be cured of the material disease, he must take to it with great care and attention. One begins his treatment by chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra because by chanting this holy name of the Lord, a person in the material condition will be relieved from all misconception. Chetodarpana marjanam. Avidya, a misconception about one's spiritual identity, provides the foundation for ahankara or false ego within the heart.
Yes, Prabhu. We'll stop here. So, yeah, here Srila Prabhupada mentioned the verse from Bhagavad Gita also that so the point is that the real position that we are eternal servants of Krishna is not realized by the Prabhupada mentioned this verse. The four types of people that who never take the shelter of Lord. So this is chapter 7, verse 15. The first one is that namam duskritino. Duskritino means miscreants, Mudaha. So this Muda, who's Muda? Muda is like person who's foolish, the karmis, as is working for their senses and grossly foolish. No time for God realization. They always just busy in their work. They said, oh, no, we don't have any time for God realization or what is God, or they don't want to hear. They just want to work for their sense gratification. That's it. Now, second is prapadyante naradhamaha. So who's naradhama? Naradhama is that not following the varnashrama dharma or no sanskaras. So lowest in mankind. It's called lowest in mankind. Actually, despite so-called the modern civilization that we have, today the 99.9% are naradhama because it's no varnashram dharma and no sanskaras. Nobody follow any sanskaras, So this is naradhama. And then the third one is maya apaharita jnana. So jnana is knowledge. So maya apharita. Apharita means taken away, by maya. So whose knowledge nullified by the influence of illusory energy. So the people who thinks themselves they are big scientists or big materialistic developing materialistic advancement, but their knowledge been stolen by maya, So the real knowledge, I'm talking about the real knowledge, that knowledge of the spirit soul, God realization. So these are the maya pharita jnana. And number 4 is ashuram. Ashuram bhavam ashritaha. So ashram, asur means the demons, so those atheistic people who are envious of the Lord, they are envious. So they're creating like incarnation among themselves, So they want to become God themselves. In other words, So they are like atheistic people. They are envious of Krishna. So these 4 types of people, they never surrender to Krishna, and they oppose the endeavor of those who wish to take Krishna's shelter. Actually, they also they propagate that also that they don't no Krishna. They do oppose Krishna consciousness. They don't follow themselves, and they stop other people also. So these type of people are very they will put into very darkest region of the hell. Actually, this is mentioned in Sri Ishopanishad, mantra number 9. It says, Andham tamaha pravishanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya iva te tamo ye yu vidyayam rataha. Means those who engage in culture of Nissan activities shall enter into the darkest region of ignorance. Worse still are those engaged in the culture of so-called knowledge. Means those people, these 4 types of people, or the people who follow the culture of Nisans, they will be put into the darkest region of ignorance. But there are those ones who follow the so-called culture of knowledge, the so-called knowledge, that they also propagate that they don't they oppose Krishna consciousness, and they propagate different philosophies, the so-called knowledge. They also put into the this darkest hell or darkest region of ignorance. So actually, the importance of human life is given in these verses, that how we can make use of this human life. or this opportunity and avoid this avidya and material disease, because this avidya, this material disease is everywhere, and current civilization, you can see that it's very prominent. And that's why Srila Prabhupada given this reference about these 4 types of people, and they never come into the shelter of Krishna. So till here, you have any questions or any realization? So you can share it now. Yes, Prabhu. Nothing. Other devotees? Yes, Prabhu. Past Prabhu? Yes.
No, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. I was thinking about something, but then it got
Yes.
clear. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this is yeah. So we can actually read further. Actually, it's not very big purpose. So I wanted to divide into 2 parts. The first part is like we discuss about this avidya and about our situation, about this disease, But and the second part is very important part, where we talk about the chanting, and the different stages. Srila Prabhupada talks about offenses and offenseless chanting, and that is the heart of the devotional service, and we can learn so much things, or we can clear so many misconceptions or other things from the next part. So what I was okay, let's read one more paragraph, and then we can cover this in next session also. Hold on. Yes, Prabhu. Can you see the screen?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
The real disease in the heart, if the mind is cleansed, however, if consciousness is cleansed, a person cannot be harmed by the material disease. To cleanse the mind and heart from all misconceptions, one should take to this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra. This is both easy and beneficial. By chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is immediately freed from the blazing fire of material existence. There are 3 stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord: the offensive stage, the stage of lessening offenses, and the pure stage. When a neophyte takes to the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he generally commits many offenses. There are 10 basic offenses, and if the devotee avoids these, he can glimpse the next stage, which is situated between offensive chanting and pure chanting. When one attains the pure stage, he immediately liberated. This is called Bhava Maha Davagni Nirvapanam. As soon as one is liberated from blazing fire of the material existence, he can release the taste of transcendental life.
Yes, Prabhu. Stop here. Yes. So actually, here Srila Prabhupada from here is talking about the chanting, and in bhakti actually there are different stages. Actually, it's 9 stages, and it starts from Shraddha. So when we have faith, we have Shraddha, and then Sadhu Sangha, the association of devotees. So we associate with devotees, and then Bhajana Kriya, then the sadhana that we follow, chanting of the holy name of the Lord, and different activities of devotional service, and then anartha nirvritti, the purifying of contamination from our heart starts. So the purification starts, and a lot of anarthas, because we are time immemorial that we are just coming and going, coming and going. This cycle of birth and death is happening. There's a lot of contamination accumulated, and this anartha nivritti happens on this stage. So when we got Shraddha, we do Sadhu Sangha, and then we start engaging in Bhajan Kriya, means that's our sadhana, and then anartha nivritti, and then the purifying of this contamination. And then the Nishtha comes. That's the firm faith. So the Nishtha comes. And then the Ruchi, the taste comes. So this Ruchi, Naruchikanu, here is to describe that we don't have a Ruchi in Krishna's name, his fame, and its qualities, and his chanting. So because of that avidya, but we have this, we develop this Ruchi, and we are on these stages, we're falling from the bottom and then going up and up. So, and then after taste comes asakti, that is attachment to Krishna. So we are attached to Krishna. At the moment, we are attached to different things, material things, our sense gratification things, and so many other things. But then we are attached to Krishna. And then it comes bhava, when we know our position in service. And then is prema, that is the pure level. So that is a very high level of devotion service. That is a prema. So this is those devotees, the eternally liberated souls, or the eternal associates of the Lord. They are in that prema stage. They cannot think anything other than Krishna. But because we are conditioned souls, we are here, and so we have to follow these steps to reach there. To purify ourselves, to purify all the contaminants, and this is the process given, in these 9 stages of bhakti. But we will elaborate more. I actually I wanted to cover this in the next session, the whole this process, and the other points. This very good points is coming in next para also. So for this week, I think we will stop here. And if you have any questions, so you ask here, and you can post in our intermediate group also. And I will request His Grace Amrish Prabhuji to clarify any questions, or if he because this is a very important verse, So please post these questions if you have any, and or any comments. Okay, so yes, Hare Krishna. So you can ask now also if you have any questions. Okay, I think we will stop here now for today, for this session, and next week we will cover the other half, the part 2 of this text. So Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Jai Shila Gurudev ki jai, Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So I'll ask His Grace Amrish Prabhuji for, I think, still got 5 minutes, so we can, yep.
Yes, Hari Bol, Prabhuji. You wanted something from me?
Yes, Prabhuji, we finished for today's session. So part 2 will come, we'll cover in the next week.
Okay, wonderful. So then we'll take a break then in 4-5 minutes, and we'll restart again. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So thank you very much, Sanjeev Prabhu, for your class today and your realizations. Now, if for those who are listening to us and following us on YouTube, we'll be disconnecting you shortly, and we'll be connecting in 5 minutes at New Zealand time, 6 o'clock, with our second program then. Just don't go away. Look for us. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada.